SMU head coach June Jones says the smaller conferences in college football should play in the spring to avoid going head-to-head with the Big Five. Commissioners of those smaller conferences strongly disagree. I'm Jim Basketball with the latest ESPN headlines. Brett McMurphy has this story on ESPN.com and joins us now. And Brett, what is the standpoint that June Jones is bringing to the table here?
Well, he basically says that with the autonomy issue looming with the Power Five, most powerful conferences, that the gap between the Power Five and the non-Power Five will continue to grow, and that basically the non-Power Five leagues need to do something drastic, or, quote, we're going to get left behind. And he is a former coach that used to be in the USFL, and he referenced, perhaps moving to the spring. It's an intriguing idea. Ultimately, though, the guys that run the league are saying there's no chance not only that will happen, but there's not even any chance that they will waste any time discussing it. But, Jones does have some good points. The main reason, obviously, to move to the spring is you separate yourself and you're not overshadowed by the Power 5 leagues. You would get a bigger TV deal than you currently have in the fall. However, there's just a number of obstacles that you would have to overcome, including recruiting, academic calendar. You'd no longer be part of the college football playoff and all the money that brings to those leagues. I think, though, if the Power 5 just continues to split further and further apart from the non-Power 5, hey, maybe as a last resort this could work, but I think that would be something that we're looking at would be, 15, 20 years down the road.
Hey, Brett, you can kind of understand, obviously, the commissioners of these smaller leagues, these smaller conferences, and what their standpoint is on this. Just last year, the AAC champ Central Florida beat Baylor, the Big 12 champ in the Fiesta Bowl. So the smalls or the have-nots have beaten the bigs, the David and Goliath matchups. It's happened before. Is this an admission on June Jones's part that his team or conference, in this case the American Conference, just can't compete with the Big Five?
It's not that they can't compete on the field, it's that they cannot compete financially. The Power 5 conferences are looking to pay cost of scholarships. They're looking to give lifetime scholarships, if you will, guaranteeing that any student athlete that goes to one of those Power 5 schools will be able to return to school and be under scholarship to finish their degree, no matter how long that will take. Unlimited meals and other things that they want to do. In the past, the smaller conference schools that couldn't afford that could block the vote, so they weren't able to do these things. Now with autonomy, if that does get approved down the road, they'll be able to do those things. So Jones is looking at it that if you're recruiting two schools from the Power 5 and the non-Power 5 are recruiting the same kid, well, the kid's probably going to go to the Power 5 because of the extra benefits that he will be allowed to get at a Power 5 school compared to a non-Power 5 school. Jones is just trying to think outside the box on a way that a non-Power 5 could remain relevant, and one way would be to play in the spring.
He's ESPN.com's Brett McMurphy. Brett, thanks for the insight.
Hey, thank you.
Again, Brett has this story right here on ESPN.com, and you can read more about it right here. I'm Jim Basketball with the latest ESPN headlines.